Hey y'all, I'm here to tell you guys about my Tinder story and right into it. Hopefully I don't leave anything out. So my Tinder story started and one of my friends was like, oh, I'm on Tinder. And I was like, hey, what's Tinder? He was like, oh, it's just this little dating kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, make me one. So he was like, well, I can't really make you one. You have to get the app, download the app, and, you know, make your profile and stuff. So I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. So I downloaded Tinder and I get to swiping my lefts and swiping my rights, and everything is cool. I meet this guy on there and we ended up exchanging numbers. It wasn't anything serious. I don't know, he was a nice guy, but it just wasn't, I didn't feel like it was for me. I ended up deleting the app off of my phone because at the time it was like Thanksgiving and then like Christmas came up and I had about 2 weeks off of work and I was bored in bed one morning and I decided I was going to download the Tinder app again. I didn't know that once you deleted the Tinder app that it didn't actually delete your profile. When I got back on there and I started swiping my lefts and swiping my rights, like I had a lot of matches, and I guess just kind of over time because my profile was still there and stuff like that, but I ended up having a lot of matches, and I ended up matching this one guy, and we'll call him Guy. And you know, it was really just kind of like an instant kind of click or whatever. Me and Guy was talking and stuff like that, and he kept asking me for my number. And with me personally, it's not that I'm just like thinking I'm just better than you or whatever, and nothing like that. It's just, I don't know, I just want to see how hard you're gonna work for it. So because to me it's like, okay, well, if you don't work hard for it and you're like, forget her, she's doing too much or whatever, she don't look that good, she doing too much to be doing that, then I just be like, okay, whatever, bravo for you. I don't have any emotional connection or history with you. That's cool. If you do work for it, then bravo for you. That's what's up. Keep up the good work. So yeah, so that's what I did, and he was very consistent, but it wasn't like annoying consistent. It was just very, you know, settle every now and then, you know, you don't need a number, blah blah blah. So I'm like, okay, cool, he's a pretty cool dude. So we ended up exchanging numbers, and within that time frame of us exchanging numbers and getting to know each other, he told me that he may or may not have a baby on the way. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, what's up with that? So he's like, oh, well, the girl told me, you know, that it may or may not be mine, but I am excited for it. If it is, I just don't want to get too attached because, you know, I don't want to be let down, but it's a boy and blah blah. So I'm like, okay, whatever, cool, you know, I can deal with one, I guess. So time went on, and every time somebody tries to get me to chill with them, I automatically shut down. Like, I'm just like, I don't know, it just makes me cringe. Like, I shut down. So he started asking me, you know, to hang out and to see me and stuff like that. So I ended up going over there one day after work, and it was dark, and I was like texting my friends. I was on like, this is the address, this is my last known location, so just so you know. So I got there and it was dark, of course, and all we did, we really just chilled in the car for a couple of hours. It wasn't nothing like serious or whatever. We talked, it was all good or whatever. So I go back home, everything's all good, we're still talking. I was just like, man, this is like crazy, like this is really too good to be true, because I was telling him that I deleted this app, and to come back on this app and find you, I'm like, maybe it was this, and I don't know. I don't know. Everything's good. And he was the type, he was going to school in the town where my weekend job for the radio is, but he would go home like every single weekend. And I was just like, that's crazy. But like, the drive was like at least 2 hours, so I'm like, every weekend though? But I'm just like, okay, you know what, you got your baby mama's down there, or your baby mama may be anyway. So I'm like, okay, you got a reason, you know, maybe he's just trying to check up on her, I don't know, whatever. So he comes through where I live to go home. So he was like, you know, can I come over? So I'm just like, I reckon. So long story short, he comes over and he stays for a couple of hours, he leaves, we just chilled, nothing happened. So time goes on and I'm thinking everything is all good and Gucci, and he asked me to see him once again. So I'm like, okay, like I can't really be in a relationship with somebody, any kind of relationship with somebody, without seeing them. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just suck it up, be a big girl, I'm gonna go see him. So I go see him again. Last time I didn't go into his apartment. This time I went into his apartment. He had some roommates. I didn't see any of them. I don't think any of them was there. But we sat in his room the whole time. Nothing went down. But at one point, he proceeded at one point he proceeded to like try to touch on me or feel on me or whatever. And I was just like, I hope you don't think it's finna go down right now. So I can't really remember. It didn't get too far, but I just remember him asking me, can I put it in? Just the tip. Oh hell no! Excuse me, sir? So I'm like, what? And he was like, can I just put in the tip? I'm like, no. No, you can't. You can't put in the tip. You can't put in the millimeter. The whole thing. An inch. Nothing. No. So anyway, we go past that, and you know, we're just kind of chilling still. And anyways, I end up leaving. So for some reason this time when I ended up leaving, it just didn't feel right, and it felt like something was off and something was wrong. But eventually we kind of like fell off, like just everything just went whoosh, like it was done. Like we both fell off the face of the earth. And eventually he texted me, and you know, I told you he was going to see his baby mama or whatever every weekend, and she was getting ready to have the baby. So he sends me a picture of this baby, and I'm like, what do I do with that? So I'm like, okay, I'm just not gonna respond because you haven't talked to me in like 2 weeks. Like, why would I even, what was that? So I call my friend. I'm like, girl, this is what happened. Do you think I should like say something to him or whatever? And she's like, well, you know, I wouldn't just not say anything because I was gonna not respond. But she was like, you know, just say, oh, he's handsome or something like that. So I'm like, okay. So I said back, oh, he's cutie, whatever. Heard nothing from this man. No reply. I'm like, so what you sending me pictures for? Like, what the, what? So time went on, and I can't remember, it might have been like another month or so. I don't even know. I don't even know how we ended up getting in another conversation. I don't know if I texted him just trying to see where his head was. I don't know. So eventually I ended up or I guess somebody ended up texting somebody. Anyway, the conversation was very short-lived, and all it was me asking, hey, do you like parenthood? And he was like, yeah, you know, I'm enjoying it. I love it. It's cool so far. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. The end. That was it. That was the last thing I heard from him. And I haven't heard anything from him since. Not that I'm like missing him or anything like that. But I'm so convinced. Like, everything just was like crazy, and I'm so convinced that this man was dating his baby mama, knew that was more than likely his baby, and they were dating, and they were gonna try to work it out. And so he was going up there every weekend to see her, and I was just, he wanted to make me his little side chick or whatever while he was down here for school, and it was not happening. And I'm convinced that they're living like happily ever after with their baby in hand. And that's okay. That's great. I hope they are. But I mean, hashtag waste her time 2016. No, like hashtag waste her time 2015. Like, who does that? So anyway, now I just I deleted the Tinder app. Done with it. Washed my hands. Don't want it anymore. There's crazy people on Tinder. And that's my Tinder story. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, will you? Make sure that you guys subscribe. It's going to be somewhere in this section. Make sure that you guys subscribe and comment some stuff. and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.